I'm Grace Torie, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl, Grace Torie, and I'm back with a whole new podcast episode. I am not in the best mood, but that's life. I'm here, we're good, we have ups and downs, but I still want to film for you guys, just vibe, hang out, talk about it. Today's episode is a little different. It's mainly focusing on what I'm personally doing to improve my health, and there's some general tips that you can take from this to also improve your health if you're looking to do that. So that is what we're going to be talking about. I'm kind of going to dive into why I'm changing my health, and hopefully there's some helpful tips in there. But yeah, before we jump in, we do need to do a life update. So nothing really crazy going on. I think part of the reason I'm in a bad mood is I did go to the bars last night. My friend came up from my hometown and we went to the bars. It was really fun, but now I am still hungover. I know, it's literally nighttime and I'm still hungover, and I just had so much to do today that's not fun. None of that was fun stuff that I really genuinely enjoy doing. It was just stuff I needed to do to get off my to-do list today. So that's probably why I'm not in the greatest mood, but it's fine. Everything is fine. And I'm just gonna sleep it off, So that being said, before I jump in, don't forget to comment, subscribe, follow, depending on what platform you're on, rate, review, all that good stuff. If you're on Instagram and TikTok, follow me on @thatgirlthepod to join the community of girlies who are working to become the best version of ourselves. So with that being said, let's jump on in. So before I go any further, like I mentioned, I just want to bring up again and make it abundantly clear that everyone's bodies are different. So if something works for me, it may not work for you, or vice versa. Everyone's bodies call for different things, so what's healthy for me to do may not be helpful for you to do or healthy. So just keep that in mind. So that being said, let's just jump in. As you guys know, I've really been talking about my health and just struggling with it recently, a lot of doctor's appointments. And while I really have just recently started talking about it, and I may have mentioned it's been going on for a while, it has literally been going on for years. And I do want to harp on that fact that it's been going on for years. It's sucked for years. I haven't felt good in years. A little background. I didn't really start going to the doctor and asking for help aggressively. I wouldn't say aggressively, really making it a point to say this is an issue until probably 3 years ago. And this past month is the first time a doctor has listened to me and referred me to someone. So I do want to say this because I feel like that is a common storyline that I've heard for women my age or older, younger, and I feel like it is very hard for us to have doctors that are advocates that agree and listen when it comes to either hormones or feminine things going on with or periods or things like that. And that's not to say that men also don't struggle to feel heard by doctors sometimes, or that you can have an issue that's not related to your hormones or your reproductive system. Obviously, all of those things can happen, but the most common things that I've heard is women around my age struggle with getting a doctor who listens or cares when it comes to their hormones or their female system that they have going on. So I wanted to just start by saying that if you are currently going through with this, or you're in the middle of this, I believe in you, I love you, and don't give up. Do not give up. One day you are going to have someone who is going to advocate for you as a doctor, but until then you need to not stop advocating for yourself, because like I said, it took me 3 years to find someone to listen, and what if I would have given up after a year or after 2 years? Then maybe I would never ever find someone who cares. I also switched doctors twice. Don't be afraid to do that. But that's pretty much what I wanted to say about that before we jumped in. So let's just get into it. I also want to say that All of these tips are not in a particular order. You don't have to do one before the other. You can do them in any order, and I'm doing them like all at once. So if you want to slowly implement them, you can choose the order, whatever makes most sense to you, or you can just jump in if you want to do all of these and you feel like they would genuinely benefit you. Do talk to your doctor before you do any supplement changes, like adding vitamins into your diet or huge diet changes. So yeah, that being said, let's jump in. So the first thing I'm going to say is I just got into like taking supplements. I used to, and then I kind of stopped. Money was just tight and they didn't seem like a priority to me, but now I definitely agree they are. I'm usually deficient in vitamins. Usually it is vitamin D and B12 that I'm deficient in, which are really important. So that's why I'm currently taking supplements for those specifically. I do want to find a good daily multivitamin to take as well. I just haven't found one yet. So if you guys know of one that like knocks it out of the park, definitely update me on what you take, because I would love to hear. But supplements are great. I got like a yearly blood test. I've gotten 3 for the 3 years that I've been trying to get diagnosed. And every single time I've been on the low normal range for vitamin D and B12. So that is why I take those. And my doctor also told me like to do that. So yeah. Next is to educate yourself. Know what vitamins are important for what functions in your body, what symptoms you're having, whether that's like as simple as being tired a lot or much more serious things that are a lot more obvious. What health issues run in your family. I keep a journal of when I'm having certain symptoms. Like I get dizzy a lot, so I write down when I'm dizzy, whether that's right after I eat, first thing in the morning, late at night. Just know your body in that sense, like to keep like a running diary. Also, educate yourself on all those things. I don't want you to ever self-diagnose, so do not self-diagnose. The point of this is not to go on the internet, type in all your symptoms and say, oh my gosh, this is what I have. Also, if you feel like you have a lot of symptoms and they align with a certain diagnosis, do not panic and self-diagnose. Don't even go there. It's more to know what's going on in your body and when, versus diagnosing yourself, because when you know your body, it's a lot easier to heal your body based on what you're eating, what vitamins you're taking, things like that, versus finding a specific diagnosis. Also, if you know when you're getting dizzy, what you're eating, how much water you're drinking, and things like that, when you go to the doctor, if you do feel like something's off and you do have certain symptoms, you can give them that log, and it saves a lot of time, because for a while when I would go to the doctor, they would say, you just need to work out more, you just need to eat healthier, when like that was not the case. I was eating as healthy as I could for the most part, and I was working out 5 days a week sometimes. So that was not the case, but until I logged it, they didn't really believe me, like until they were like, wow, okay, at this time she was doing this. So definitely do that. Listen to your body is the next one, which kind of goes along with this, but something that was really hard for me is I don't want to be lazy. Like I have a huge thing where I mentally just feel like I'm lazy if I'm not doing the most at all times. So I want to say, and this may like be helpful, if you need to hear this, listen. If you literally cannot get out of bed, you're not lazy. It's not because you're lazy. It's probably because something's wrong. So don't beat yourself up. It's not because you're lazy. If you eat something like gluten or milk and you feel a certain way after, take note of that and see if it's a consistent thing that you feel every single way, because that's your body telling you something. Like maybe you're lactose intolerant and you didn't realize it because you just didn't think about it. If you're craving a certain healthy food, eat it if you can and it's available, and see how you feel. Your body may be telling you exactly what it needs. That happens to me when I'm more in tune with my body. It happened the most when I was vegan, because I was really just like aligned with what I was putting into my body and when, and I would crave certain foods when I needed certain vitamins. So your body is telling you exactly what it needs and when. I am a huge believer in that. It's just you have to listen. And if you're not listening, your body is going to try and tell you, but you're not going to be able to hear it. So definitely listen, and you'll know everything you need to know. You may not have a name on a diagnosis, but you'll be able to take care of your body a lot better. Next one, this is kind of a really, really long one, and this may be the longest part of our episode. This is probably going to be a shorter episode, but this is going to take up a big chunk of it. But I am redefining the word diet. It just really seems like a dirty word to so many of us for reasons that I definitely understand and I agree with. I feel like I had an eating disorder, but I don't believe in saying had because it's something that you battle for the rest of your life. That's why I said feel like I definitely had one, but like I don't want to use the word had because while I'm not actively as bad as I used to be, it's definitely something you struggle with throughout your entire life, and sometimes it's worse than others. So I have one, I guess. I've never really said that out loud. That really hits home. Wow, okay. So the word diet is really hard for me. Journaling what I eat and when, extremely hard for me. And so I don't feel like you're alone if I say this and you feel like it's super uncomfortable, because it's very uncomfortable. But you're not going to know your body and what it needs if you're just kind of ignoring I would argue, one of the biggest parts of your body, or of taking care of your body, which is giving it the nutrients it needs. So, diet. There's honestly so many diets out there that aren't curated for the right reason, and the person who created them may not have good intentions behind them, which has ruined this idea for us. Like, we go on these diets that some influencer comes out with, and we're like, this is going to solve all of our problems, and it's kind of like a get skinny quick thing, and it doesn't work. So that's kind of like what I'm getting at. Like, that has ruined it for us, and that's not okay. It's kind of taken the word and given it a different meaning than what it actually has. In addition to that, it's usually associated with losing weight quick. So when you go on a diet, it's with the intention of losing weight, and you either finish the diet, lose the weight, and then fall off of it after, or you don't finish the diet and feel horrible about yourself because you didn't reach that end goal, which is also awful. Like, that is a horrible way to feel. So I understand. I am choosing not to subscribe to any of these ideas. When you're on a diet is just what you eat. Like, when the doctor says, what's your typical diet? They're not saying, like, so what are you losing weight with these days? No, they're asking what you eat from day to day. You have a diet whether you want to or not. Like, you just have one. That's what you do every day. Like, you eat, so you have a diet. And that's the way I'm choosing to look at it, is like just what I put in my body from day to day. It's not like a get skinny quick thing. Like, it's more of a, how can I improve this to help myself? How can it be healthier? Not how can I feel prettier, even though that is a good plus to eating certain foods. How can I feel better? Because I don't feel good and I want to feel better. So I'm changing my diet, like I mentioned, to see if I can... Bunny's just moving around his metal bowl. I'm changing my diet for the health benefits that come with it, and to see if I can heal or minimize the symptoms I'm having. And like I said, it's great to go on a specific diet for, that has the plus side of losing weight or getting a figure that is more in line with society's beauty standards, quote unquote. However, I'm not even thinking about that aspect of it. I'm purely focused on what is the healthiest thing for me to be eating right now. So, that being said, I post her on my story all the time. I've been following a creator who has been dealing with health issues for a very long time. And her whole platform is about hormone wellness, as well as she has PCOS. So that as well. So like mainly like her gut, hormones, and like PCOS. So things having to do with like her cycle. So that being said, I really have enjoyed following her and just seeing like her lifestyle. She's very open about what she did to heal it and how she can help you. And it's very educational. And I really just enjoy it. I know that her body is different than mine. Therefore, her outcome is definitely going to be different. But I also really resonate with what she does, and I personally do feel better when I do the things that she mentions. So that is why I'm okay with that. If you don't know who I'm talking about, it's Gracie Norton. So she is from Indiana, which I'm from Kentucky. So hey, girl. Hey. But yeah, she just came out with a recipe book that is gluten, dairy, and refined sugar free. And while I'm not like 100% eating this way, I still eat like certain things that are not along those lines. It's been really helpful when I'm grocery shopping and staying like 80% with the diet, because like I'm not gonna be 100%, but I would like to be 80, and like 20% of the time things happen, you know, go get a milkshake, live my life. But it's definitely helped give me like a playbook that I can go off of, because I felt like before it's really hard to find recipes that follow this and such. So yeah, it's been great, been helpful, and it's definitely been a learning curve, but I'm really just excited to see what long-term changes come from this. So that's the main thing I've been doing for dieting. In terms of exercise, I am having to learn the importance of taking things slow, which, as we all know, is not my specialty at all. So low impact workouts are really the only thing that I can do, because I'm on the verge of passing out most days. Yeehaw for me. Which has really been hard, since most of my workouts that I typically do focus on building my endurance and really just like pushing myself. I am someone who has to push myself where I don't feel like I did enough, which I know is an issue I'm working on. But if I'm not like pushing myself and low-key dying when it comes to like endurance, then I just don't feel like it was a good workout. So this has been really hard to not push myself, because if I do, I will literally pass out. I'm still trying to figure out new ways to work out this way, but walking really slowly and doing really casual rides on my horse is the most recent ways I've been doing this, as well as stretching and yoga, which I usually do, but I don't always consider it a workout, and now I kind of have to. On that same note, Gracie Norton typically does low stress workouts, because she has noticed that her body responds better when she does not spike her cortisol. So maybe that's me. I've noticed the best results come from walking on a treadmill at a high incline, so I'm gonna hopefully try and be able to get back into doing that soon. Hopefully soon. Another way that I am trying to improve my health is sleep, which I usually do, but I'm making an extra effort to really prioritize this. And obviously I love sleep, so no complaints there. Lastly, drinking more water instead of bored eating. So this is really a big thing, because I'm chronically dehydrated. I'm always dehydrated, and I usually get like snacky, like I want to snack something. And they have snacks for us at work, but it's like not the greatest stuff, like Cheez-Its, Skittles, Starburst, things like that. So not great for you. And usually I'm like, hell yeah, but I'm not recently. So that being said, I am trying to drink more water, because I not only need to drink more water, but it'll make me less bored and likely to bored eat. So yeah, that is pretty much it. This is a shorter episode. It's a very simple, straightforward episode of what I've been doing. Thanks. I don't even know what to say. My brain is just fried right now. I need to go to bed from doing everything today and just getting that all done and being up so late last night. But thank you guys so much for listening. I love you so much. I love your support. It means the absolute world to me. I'm stuttering now. If you haven't already, don't forget to leave a rating and review. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, it takes like 2 seconds. Means the absolute world to me. I love you forever if you would do that. Also, don't forget to share on your Instagram story, and I will share it. Don't forget to follow on Instagram and TikTok at thatgirlthepod, and I think that's pretty much it. I upload every single Sunday and Wednesday. If you are watching this on a Sunday, I hope you have a great night. If you're watching this on any other day, I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or night. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next podcast episode. Bye, guys.